Jinger Duggar has been receiving backlash for writing as a fourth grader in her latest book, People Pleaser. Duggar News fans have been slamming her since the release of her book. The reality TV star is pretty busy promoting her book in various podcasts and interviews. Jinger has been doing press tours to inform her fans about her book. Hence, viewers were waiting to review her latest publication. Well, some of them have already read the book, and they don't seem to be fans of her writing. Jinger has already written a couple of books in her career. She became a popular writer for sharing her stories with her followers. However, fans seem to be targeting her for her childish writing. Jinger Duggar likes to break stereotypes and raise eyebrows for her unconventional thoughts. She likes to talk about everything she has faced during her childhood because of their IBLP beliefs. The TLC star published a few books in the past to talk about the trauma because of her strict family rules in her previous memoirs. Duggar News fans have always been in awe of her books. She shared all her experiences of growing up in a large family with multiple siblings. Hence, the reality TV star had the perfect opportunity to launch another book for people similar to her. Jinger has just released her latest edition, People Pleaser, breaking free from the burden of imaginary expectations. She wanted to help others to stop pleasing people and overcome their fears. But why are fans lashing her out? Duggar News fans have been waiting to grab their first copy of Jinger's latest book, People Pleaser. They have been waiting to review her memoir for a long time. However, the reality TV star seems to have disappointed her followers. Recently, a Redditor shared a picture of her book's introductions page. In it, she introduced herself and talked about her name. The OP stated, "I just started reading People Pleasure, and wow, what a dumb way to open your book." He couldn't understand why she chose the topic instead of all the icebreaker questions to ruin the reader's experience. Jinger had to explain what she would name herself if she could do it. However, she simply stated that she loves her name and doesn't want to change it instead of saying something interesting. Fans were disappointed with her writing and called it childish. One fan stated, "It reads like a fourth grade writing assignment." Another user joked that Jinger was just trying to reach a word count for her assignment or exam. Moreover, others wondered what the editor was doing and how she approved it. So many of them felt that the ghostwriter or editor must have done something to alter this. Further, a different user noted, "The writing style reminds me of some of the awful yay pulp novels I used to read in the 90s. Jinger Duggar and Jeremy Volo are gearing up to welcome their third child. After welcoming 2 girls, the couple announced they were expecting a baby boy. During their visit to Arkansas to celebrate Jinger's birthday ahead of the holidays, they told the entire Duggar family they were pregnant with a boy. Jessa Duggar was the only one who knew the gender, and she sent a baby outfit for Jinger and Jeremy to open together to find out. That was before their return to Arkansas, and it allowed them to revel in the news. The Counting On couple will be the next known to welcome a baby, but based on Jinger's vlog from their gender reveal, Lauren Swanson looks like she may deliver before Jinger. She and Jose Duggar could have already welcomed their 4th child, and it won't be known until they are spotted in a photo or video shared by one of his siblings. It's been a hectic month for Jinger Duggar, who went on a media tour to promote her new book about being a people pleaser. She and Jeremy Volo spent time in New York City and appeared on various shows to discuss the book and how being a people pleaser affected her life. They have traveled extensively over the last few months, but Jinger is ready to slow down as they await the arrival of their son. The Counting On star shared an updated baby bump photo on her Instagram story as she moves through the 3rd trimester. By the time Jinger Duggar and Jeremy Volo got pregnant with Felicity, they already knew they wanted a hospital birth. The Counting On star had seen enough home births and what could go wrong with them, so she preferred to err on the side of caution. Jinger will labor through as long as she can and take an epidural when needed. Jeremy's parents will likely be the ones to keep Felicity and Evangeline while the couple goes to the hospital. When Evangeline was born, Michelle Duggar and Jordan Grace Duggar flew to California to be there. Still, it's unclear whether Jinger will have any of her family members there this time. Her due date is at the end of March, but since it is her third baby, she could go early. Jinger Duggar is raising some eyebrows following the release of her book, People Pleaser, breaking free from the burden of imaginary expectations. The 31-year-old has been participating in interviews and podcasts to endorse her newest memoir. She's starting to share the positive feedback she's receiving as well. However, a Reddit thread calls Jinger out for some parts of her book that looked childish. According to its description, People Pleaser will tell the story of how Jinger broke free from living under the approval of others. The Counting On alum also explains what it's like to constantly seek approval, which is one of her most unhealthy traits back then. The memoir will also tell the story of Jinger's self-discovery and how Jeremy and her mother helped her walk on the right path. Some Counting On fans on Reddit reacted to the introduction page of Jinger Duggar's book, People Pleaser. According to the poster, they were surprised to read how uninformative the intro was. It shows Jinger introducing herself and sharing how someone asked her what name she would like if it wasn't Jinger. But instead of a fruitful answer, Jinger said that she loves her name and there's no other name she would take aside from Jinger. Many commenters were also upset about how Jinger would bring up such a topic without a proper answer. It's giving high school creative writing. Not even lol. I'm genuinely having trouble reading this, and it's not because I can't read. It reads so childish, like something a fourth grader would write. It's a self-help book written by someone who has no sense of self. Where is the ghost writer? Because this sounds like it was written during third period study hall by someone who just discovered metaphors. Aslo Tiff is this book supposed to about? Jinger Duggar also took to IG stories to share updates about her upcoming third child with Jeremy. According to the Counting On alum, they have already come up with a name for her baby boy, adding that her daughters helped write names. However, Jinger revealed that they will keep it a secret until the baby arrives, saying it's what they usually do. Jinger Duggar of 19 Kids and Counting fame started on reality television more than 2 decades ago with her family's first documentary and spent many years in front of the cameras. Now, nearly 4 years after Counting On was canceled as the 19 Kids and Counting spin-off, Jinger weighed in on whether she'd want to return to reality television, and I can't say I blame her for her response. Vuolo, now 31, spent many years of her youth in front of a camera along with much of the rest of her family. She has since moved on from the lifestyle of 19 Kids and Counting, which involved literally moving to California and starting to wear pants. A mom of 2, she revealed on the Jinger and Jeremy podcast where she stands on a return to reality TV. There's sides of it that you miss, but then there are lots of aspects that I don't miss. I don't know. I don't think so. Not right now. Not in this season of life. If there was filming or something that would happen, that's fine. It's good, but like a reality show like it was before? I don't think so. Not the same way, for sure. Jinger's last regular appearances on reality television were as part of the 11 seasons of Counting On, which launched in late 2015 after 19 Kids and Counting was canceled earlier that year in the wake of the allegations against Josh Duggar for child molestation. Counting On was then canceled in 2021 ahead of Josh Duggar's trial, with TLC releasing a statement that the network felt it is important to give the Duggar family the opportunity to address their situation privately. With how much of her life that she spent in the spotlight, what her family went through with Josh's eventual conviction, and her later comments on the disturbing religious environment of her youth, I can't say that I blame Jinger for wanting to stay away from aspects of reality television that she doesn't miss. That's not to say that she only had bad memories of her TLC years, though, as she went on to say. For all those years, you have the sweet memories of traveling and stuff, but it's not all the same. Because you wouldn't have your same film crew, you wouldn't have your same people you're working with, and you're not filming as a larger family unit, so there's lots of things that would feel so drastically different if you did a show again. Even if Jinger did want to return to reality television with her family, they wouldn't be able to just pick up where they left off with the same team behind the scenes. Her sister Jessa has debunked rumors of a falling out, but the siblings just live different lives now. Plus, it wasn't that long ago that Jinger shared that it was hard and scary to speak up about her life in the 19 kids and counting household. All in all, Jinger Duggar seems content with the life she's built with husband Jeremy and their 2 kids without having it broadcast as a reality show. If she does ever come back to the sphere of reality TV, fans just shouldn't count on a repeat of 19 kids and counting or counting on. Growing up, Jinger Duggar was surrounded by television cameras. For 17 years, Zuolo was part of TLC's reality television shows, 19 Kids and Counting On. Today, Jinger is a mother of 2, soon to be 3, and an author of 2 books, My Story of Disentangling Faith from Fear, and the soon-to-be released People Pleaser, Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations. In October, Jinger and her husband, Jeremy, announced they were expecting their 3rd child. In a recent YouTube video, the couple announced they were expecting their first boy. "I'm speechless," said Jeremy in the video. "I was so shocked to find out it was a boy because I felt like everything felt the same. I actually had a lot of similarities to the pregnancy with the girls," said Jinger in an interview with Entertainment Tonight. "I was so shocked, I almost fell off my chair." The couple says they plan to keep the name a secret until the baby is born. Baby Volo is due in March 2025. Jinger and Jeremy were married in November 2016 and are parents to Felicity, 6, and Evangeline, 3. Jonna Duggar hasn't been overly active on social media since tying the knot with Stephen Wisman in August. She has been back to Arkansas a lot since moving to Nebraska with Stephen, but with the holidays, it's understandable. Most of the time, Jonna looks utterly flawless in the photos she shares. She is one of the prettiest Duggar daughters, which is why many were stumped about why she waited so long to marry and move out of the Duggar family home. However, the filtered look isn't present when she isn't feeling the best. It's been a tough winter season for many in the country. Several viruses have spread, and many have brought a cough with them. The Counting On star dealt with that over the weekend. Jonna Duggar appears under the weather. On Instagram, Jonna Duggar shared a simple cold remedy she had been using. She captioned the post with the recipe and accompanied it with a video of herself making and drinking it. While narrating the video, it seems that Jonna was feeling better. However, when she spoke before drinking the remedy, it was clear she wasn't feeling her best and sounded a bit stuffy. Jonna was barefaced, and no filter was used to alter her appearance at the end. Sometimes, it's clear when a filter is used on a photo, and while the Counting On star is a natural beauty, seeing her under the weather without a filter is newer. Since Jonna Duggar and Stephen Wisman married, there has been buzz about when they would become parents. As of writing this, the couple has not announced anything. There have been rumblings that they have wanted to wait a bit before starting a family, but if they do begin to welcome kids, we suspect it will be no later than next year. The couple returned to Arkansas earlier this month to spend time with Jedediah Duggar and Caitlin Nakatsu's twin girls. Jonna and Stephen took turns caring for Emma and Elsie, looking like naturals while they did it. Stephen and Jonna share 2 nieces from their family, as his sister Hannah Wisman married her brother, Jeremiah Duggar. When the couple does decide to have children, they will be double first cousins with Hannah and Jeremiah's daughters. It will be interesting to see what the next few months bring for Jonna and Stephen as they continue to enjoy married life. Amy Duggar King continues to make fans curious regarding her financial status with her husband, Dylan. The 2 opened Wellington's restaurant in 2020. They rented a place to set up the restaurant. However, the landlord, Hatcham Investments, Inc., sued Dylan and his 2 business partners for failing to pay his rent. Dylan has already paid some of his unpaid rent, but he's upset about the new punishment he's facing, which includes a $236,000 fee. In June 2024, reports surfaced saying that Hillcrest Holdings sued Dylan. The filing was made on January 3, 2024. According to the documents, Dylan and his partners, Flint Boyce and Corey Gayer, failed to pay monthly rent for Wellington's restaurant, which has reached over $86,000. But things got worse when the judge granted the plaintiff's motion of making the Counting On alum pay a $236,000 judgment plus interest and attorney's fees. But Dylan has something to say against it. According to reports, Dylan responded to the $236,000 punishment. The court filing states it is admitted that the agreement was signed and the first payment was made. However, the remaining allegations are denied, and payment has been offered. Dylan also denies all the liability and the damages owed. The Counting On alum pleads for an alternative to the default judgment, adding that the motion was wrongly entered. Additionally, Dylan requested the court to reconsider its ruling. Documents show that he signed a settlement agreement requiring him to settle 2 payments for the unpaid rent. Unfortunately, Dylan appears to have struggled to pay the second half of the rent, which resulted in the plaintiff's decision to seek certain damages, interest, and fees. Amy Duggar King has also been stressed about their recent trouble with the law. Earlier this month, the Counting On alum said they had to shut down the business because it was crazy. She never mentioned anything about her husband failing to pay rent during the live stream, and she appears to avoid all questions revolving around Dylan's lawsuit. But Amy later said they would open up about everything at the right time.